Hello. I am the Linux Mensch. When you install most Linux distributions, and Windows for that matter, it's going to have a login manager, or as it's properly called, a display manager. Do you really need it? And if you install my configuration files, you're also going to be logging in with the login manager, or as it's properly called, the display manager. And do you really need it? And what about all those programs you want to auto start when you're running your window managers? So today, let's talk about it. So I'm going to open up Virt Manager, and this might be a dead link in your system if you install my configuration files, because installing Virt Manager isn't in my auto app file. You're going to have to install that separately, and I have videos on that. Anyways, and I'm probably going to do a new video about it as well. So let's start Arch Linux. I'm going to play it. Yeah, installing Virt Manager in Arch Linux is it's a little bit of a job. Let's make this full screen. So this is the login manager. If you click on this little icon here, you have the choice of logging into Qtile, Awesome Window Manager, or the Cinnamon Desktop. And just as a side note, when you install the Cinnamon Desktop in pure Debian or pure Arch Linux, it's really ugly, but it's easy to configure because its GUI is user-friendly. And I've done many videos on configuring Cinnamon. But anyways, that's off topic again. So let's log into the Awesome Window Manager. I'm going to put my password in. And now we're in the Awesome Window Manager in my configuration file, of course. It does not default Awesome Window Manager. And I'm going to go into Xterm. And this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to type in vim period xinitrc. And this is my xinitrc file. If you downloaded my configuration files and didn't make any changes, you're going to have this as well. So these lines that are commented out, they're deactivated. And I used to use them, and I probably should delete them out of the file, but I left them in there. They're deactivated. Now, if you activate them, you can use this to start up all these programs, and they'll start automatically regardless of what window manager or desktop environment you're logging into. But I commented them out because my window managers have these items in their scripts to start. And that's these ones on the top, the first paragraph. Now, the second paragraph. So right now there's no comment or a number sign beside awesome. So awesome is activated, and it's going to log into awesome. And I have the other window managers commented out. And I don't know why I have xmonad in there because I tried using xmonad for 5 minutes. Couldn't figure it out, and I didn't feel like playing with it or learning it. But I left that in there. So what I'm going to do is close the file. And I didn't make any changes, so let's just get out of there. I'm going to turn off LightDM, my login manager or the display manager. So I'm going to do sudo system control disable LightDM. I'm going to hit enter. It's asking for my password. So I turned off LightDM, the display manager, or properly called, or it should be called the login manager. I don't know why they call it display manager. Now I'm going to reboot. So now when I reboot, instead of bringing up the display manager, it's just going to take me into the TTY. And there we are. And I don't know why that's there like that. So now we're in the TTY. We can see I have kernel 6170.1 LTS kernel. And I'm going to type in my name is Mensch. I'm going to put my password in. And now I'm logged in. And let's do an HTOP, just for the heck of it. So I'm at 104 megabytes of RAM. This virtual machine has 4 processors, no swap, 4 gigs of RAM, and I'm running at 105 megabytes. Anyways, I didn't have to do that. I always do that though. So let's clear the screen. Now let's type in start X. Just the word start X, hit enter. And I'm in the awesome window manager. Now, let's say I wanted to go into Qtile. So I'm going to Vim, xinitrc, and I'm going to comment out. And this is doing things the hard way. So I deactivated the awesome line, and I'm going to take the hashtag out of Qtile. I'm going to save the file, and I'm going to close that, and I'm going to close, oops, and I'm going to quit out of here. Let's quit. Let's clear the screen, and now we're back at the TTY. Let's type in StartX, and there's my cat crying. And now we're in the Qtile window manager. Sorry about that. So now we're in Qtile, and my cat's crying. You can't see her because she's not standing in front of the camera, but you can probably hear her crying. She wants some attention. In Qtile, mod enter opens the terminal. If you're using my Zesh configuration file, you could type in config, and it's going to take you into the awesome configuration file. If you're not using my Zesh configuration file, then you're going to have to do cd period dash, cd period config ls it, and vim into rc lua. Okay, and that's really too big. How about that? Okay, but like I said, if you're using my configuration file, then you don't even have to do that. You can just do from home, you can do config. And let's go to the bottom, Shift G. So we're at the bottom of the awesome window manager configuration file, my configuration file, and you can see auto start. So I'm auto starting xrandr 1360 by 768. And if you're running this system in bare metal, that's probably the wrong. You probably want 1920 by 1080. And because this is a virtual machine, and because I want you to be able to see things nice and large in the video, 1360 by 768 works for me in the virtual machine. But like I said, in bare metal, you probably want a 1920 by 1080. And so it's setting xrandr when I log into the awesome window manager, and it's turning on iMwheel. And iMwheel is an app that I have that controls the wheel speed of your mouse, your scrolling speed. Numlock turns on my side number lock keypad when you log into the awesome window manager. And this is turning on my power manager. And that's it. Let's get out of there. Now, the Qtile window manager is a little different. Let's clear the screen. And if it looks like I'm typing funny, it's because I am, because now my cat's sitting on my lap. So if you're running my Zesh configuration file, you could do Qtile auto. If you type in Qtile auto, it's going to take you into the auto start file for Qtile. Now it's not going to take you into my whole Qtile configuration file. It's going to take you into the auto start, because Qtile has two different files. I have a file for auto start, and I have a file for the rest of the configuration. Let's hit enter. So now we're in my Qtile auto start, and you can see I have one line commented out. Now I don't have Nitrogen as a wallpaper program, which I don't have it installed, and you won't have it installed if you use my auto app, because it's not installed. Well, it's not part of the program. So if you want to install it, you have to install it yourself and uncomment that so it starts when you log into Qtile. I have xrandr to do my display, iMwheel, numlock, and my power manager, the same as what was in awesome. Now, if you want to get in there without using my Zesh configuration file, then you're going to have to do cd config. It's hard for me to type with my cat sitting on my lap. Cd config Qtile. Let's hit enter. Let's do ls. And there's the auto start there. So you can see this is the main configuration file for Qtile, and this is the auto start. So let's vim into there. And actually, let's not Vim. Let's just do cat auto. And there it is there. Let's CD, let's just get out of there. So those are the auto start files. I didn't mean for this to be a video about my whole configuration file for Qtile or my whole configuration file for the awesome window manager. This video was meant to be more about whether you're going to log in through the display manager that I have installed, LightDM, or whether you're going to log in through the TTY with StartX. Now, if I do Vim, xinitrc, I could deactivate this Qtile line with the number sign and delete the cinnamon. And that will take me into cinnamon, which is, in this system, it's not made to look nice yet because I haven't done it. Now, if I want to decide I don't like going with StartX, StartX is good if you are normally and usually logging into the same window manager or desktop environment. But if you're always switching between them all the time, several times a day or every day, if you're switching between them, then it's easier using the login manager if you want to do it the easy way. So if you decide you don't like StartX, you don't like logging into the TTY and you want to use StartX, then you're just going to do sudo system control enable LightDM. You're going to hit enter, you're going to put your password in, and you're going to reboot. And now it's going to take us to the display manager instead of StartX machine. So here it is here. And then of course you can log in. This is easy. Awesome Qtile or cinnamon. And that's it. In this video, I talked about using a login manager or a display manager or logging into your system through the TTY with StartX. And the advantage of using the display manager or login manager is that it's easier to switch in between desktop environments and different window managers. The advantage of logging in through the TTY using StartX, it uses a little bit less RAM, not a lot, and it's more fun. Makes you look cool. And I also talked about how in .xinitrc file and my awesome window manager configuration file and my auto start file for Qtile, how I have commands in there to auto start things that I want to auto start when I log into my window managers. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like it and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching. Until next time, I am the Linux Mitch.